Hey everyone, April 23rd, 2025, AI education officially became US policy. Yep, you heard that right. From kindergarten to career, students are now going to be trained in AI skills. And here's the part that seriously made my tutor brain kind of short circuit a little. It's not about coding. It's about critical thinking, creative problem solving, and ethical decision making. So, if you're a tutor on the fence about AI, this is a gentle nudge, okay, maybe a shove to lean on in. I'm going to share some of the videos that are talking about it, what are my takes about it, and all of that great stuff. So stay tuned.
This next executive order relates to artificial intelligence education, sir. You've obviously done a lot in the artificial intelligence space already. The basic idea of this executive order is to ensure that we properly train the workforce of the future by ensuring that school children, young Americans, are adequately trained in AI tools so that they can be competitive in the economy years from now into the future as AI becomes a bigger and bigger deal.
That's a big deal because AI.
Now, this is interesting. You notice how he's talking about being competitive because China actually does have an initiative that is starting in September 1st, where all kids will be getting an AI education. They will be immersed in all of this. And I think that's really interesting that we're all we really are in this race. And let's see what Trump has to say about it.
AI is where it seems to be at. We have literally trillions of dollars being invested in AI.
Trillions of dollars. So this means trillions of federal dollars are going towards this, even though he's putting a lot of the education and the thoughts about education, he's trying to get them into the state. All of these, it's very interesting how he is putting trillions of dollars on into this. So this has a really big implication for us as tutors, right? Because if they're going to be doing curriculum development, then there's an opportunity for us to make sure that we understand what the different types of AI are, how can they be used, are there any types of AI that we could be using in our tutoring right now that could be helping to develop some of these skills without necessarily just switching on over to a completely AI education type model, but how can we bring education and AI into the type of tutoring that we're already doing?
And somebody today, a very smart person, said that AI is the way to the future. I don't know if that's right or not, but certainly very smart people are investing in it heavily. Good.
And there it is. If you're interested in learning more about what does this actually say for yourself, which I highly suggest that you do, then you can go to whitehouse.gov and you can see the entire executive order and what it looks like so that you can figure out what does this mean. We're going to be talking about different aspects of this as we take a look at a couple of the other videos that share their take on this, but I think it is important for us to understand what this says because we are moving into an AI world whether we want to. Now, this next video kind of bugs me a little bit because I can tell it was created with AI. And while I know that we should be very much aware of how can AI be used in video creation, to make these types of videos where it is an AI voice and not even a human sharing information, it's still not at the point where I can listen to it really comfortably, but this does give us a take on AI and it's important to hear what it does have to say specifically about this order and what is going to be happening.
Learning AI became mandatory in every American school. Trump's latest executive orders are pushing for artificial intelligence to be baked right into K-12 education. Not just a pilot program or some optional club, actual curriculum redesign. The plan? Create a federal task force, bring in agencies like the Departments of Education and Labor, and partner up with tech companies to write AI training into lesson plans. This includes teaching.
Did you hear that? So actual tech companies are going to be coming on in to write curriculum. And this is really showing not only just that is coming, but how are they going to go about it? That they are actually creating workforce readiness with AI and they are also having these tech companies create it.
Teaching critical thinking, launching apprenticeships aimed right at tech careers, and even holding nationwide competitions for students and teachers to show off their AI skills. According to the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy, they'll study how current federal dollars are being used in AI education and what's missing. Most people don't realize how fast AI literacy is becoming essential. A 2022 Deloitte survey found that 82% of employers plan to hire people with AI related skills in the next 2 years.
So it is coming into every single career and industry. Hence the importance, whether somebody wants to, like today, if I don't want to be a coder, I can still do my job and not know anything about code, right? But this is like as big as the internet in a way because we fought computers and all of that kind of stuff coming on into the classrooms when they first came on out. I remember it took almost a decade that they existed for me to start seeing them in my school, and I had very little experience with computers whatsoever, yet I needed a computer in order to actually do my job. When I became a teacher, they gave me my own laptop to use. So I think it's important that I think it's a very similar push that we're seeing here that these kids are going to go into jobs where they are going to be using AI, and we want to make sure that they are using it with critical thinking involved so that they can make the best ethical decisions they possibly can.
So, imagine if students started learning this stuff in middle school: natural language models, machine vision, ethics. It's not about building future engineers only.
But they're actually going to be learning it beginning in kindergarten. I'm really curious to see how they bring it into kindergarten, like with the kids. Is it just using it with them versus them actually using it? Because I'm already using it with my younger students in creating books that are engaging for them. So I think that it could be something that we're gonna see them being demonstrated on how to use it or really low. I don't know. What do you guys think? I would love to know. What do you think? How can you see it, like, in kindergarten, 1st grade, classrooms, kids being able to use the AI tools that are out there? I wanna hear it. Put it into the comments.
Only. It's about preparing kids for a world where AI touches every profession.
So it is going to touch every single profession. I think this is what's really critical here. The implication for us as tutors is that we need to be able to align our instruction with the skills that employers are seeking, right? That's the whole point of education is to make these kids able to go into the workforce. And so we're going to want to make sure that students have insights into how does AI apply into the different types of professions. Okay, this guy is so cool. His name's AI Eric, but he has a really interesting point on all of this, and he, of course, shares the news and what it's gonna be like for us.
Y'all know for over 3 years, I've been breaking this down to y'all. Number one, a national priority, AI for all students. So this order makes it official U.S. policy to promote AI literacy from kindergarten through career. That means through your career, through college and everything. So we're talking AI in every classroom, not just coding classes. It's about preparing every student to thrive in the AI powered future. So number two, and just so y'all know, China already set rules starting September 1st for every child from the age of 6 years old to learn AI. And then we pop up with this. That's funny. Number two, teachers are the key. Y'all know for over 3 years.
That's right. We're gonna be the key to this too, right? As tutors, we are gonna be the key to this movement as well, and I think that's really important as we take a look at this, that this isn't just something that we can choose if we wanna do or if we don't want to do. We really need to educate ourselves on this and really be paying attention to what is happening so that we become we become the tutors that parents need us to be. We're staying on top of not just trends, but things that really are going to affect the rest of their lives. And I don't bring this in because I don't bring politics into our space and what it is that we do. the whole point of this is for us to see the importance of AI and what it is playing in a role. And it is when it starts top down at the government level, telling us that they are going to be creating all of these task force. They're going to be making sure that there is curriculum, that there is professional development for teachers, that this is actually something they're not kidding about. They're serious about really doing this. So this isn't just like a nice thought. And that is why at my next event at Impact 8, we are going to be learning all about how to get more students in an AI world, because we are living in an AI world now, and that AI world is going to continue to develop. So you're going to get to learn how to use AI tools. You're going to get to see how can you use it to run your business more efficiently. You are going to learn so much about this topic, but we're also going to go old school too and say, hey, here are some of the things that still work when it comes to getting more students and getting the word on out there. So if you love connecting and networking with other tutors, save the date, May 30th to June 1st, because we are going to be getting into it. And it's important that we do, right? Because we want to stay on top of best practices, and we want to stay on top of what is going to be. Now, this next video really brings up a good question. Listen to this.
From me. If I walk into a classroom 2 years from now, what will I see? Will AI be in that classroom, and how will it be in there?
All right, so I'm curious to know from you, what do you think the answer to this is? What do you think 2 years from now a classroom in the United States is going to look like? I'd love for you to be able to type that inside of the chat. Or what do you think AI will look like in the country where you are from? No, seriously. What do you think? Type it on in. I want to hear your thoughts.
Thank you so much for having me. A lot has changed even from the moment that ChatGPT first came out a few years ago.
Yeah.
Initially, schools were a little bit reticent to allow students to use it, and now we're recognizing that this is
A little reticent. I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a big push to ban AI from being even in the classroom. Do you remember this? Like, they weren't allowing it. Kids were using it to cheat. Plagiarism was happening all over the place. And why is that? Because when you have a tool that you as a teacher do not know how to use yourself, you cannot properly educate the students in front of you. And then you see how things can be used in not the ways that you want to intend them. So, yeah, they were reticent.
a technology that every student will, in some way, shape, or form, be using in the way that they go through their educational journey. And it's something that's going to continue in college and so on. So the president took action yesterday in order to set up a new executive order, which is going to push forward a plan to ensure that all of our K-12 students have the tools that they need in order to thrive in this 21st century economy.
Are we going to teach them how to use AI?
He has such good questions. Are we going to teach them how to use it? Yes. And how to think with it and be critical thinking and get them thinking about how is it used in different careers and how can they use it to be able to be familiar with it. Just like we teach kids how to be able to use the internet these days, we make sure they understand how to use that information, that they're using it in ethical ways.
It's really two things. I think you need to work both on the teacher side of the equation and also on the student side of the equation.
And I think they are going to have some pushback on the teacher side of it. I don't know about you, but when I was in the school system, it was so hard to get teachers to be on board with anything. There was always those people that were against it, and you'd have people who are really cooperative and go with it. But things are always changing in the school system, and teachers are not always the most open-minded to embracing some of these things when it comes to then giving access to the students to being able to use it. So yeah, this will be interesting.
Equation. So on the teacher side, you have to make sure that the teachers are equipped with the tools that they need in order to, one, be able to wield the tools themselves in the way they educate our students.
Yeah. And it's amazing because when they went into like pandemic mode and had to start teaching on Zoom, they really struggled with it. So they're going to need actual professional development, not a good luck tomorrow type of situation with this.
And two, be able to teach the important AI skills to students. And on the other side of the equation, we want to have our students to be skilled up with this advanced technology so that they can thrive in whatever jobs that they go on to pursue. And what we've done in the executive order is one, we have essentially established a task force which is going to drive forward the presidential AI challenge. So it's something we're very excited about in order to get students from all across the country, across K through 12, working on very tough, challenging AI topics. And it's going to culminate in an event here at the White House next year, where we'll bring the best and brightest from around the country to showcase what they've been working on.
Okay, I can't actually wait to see that. I wanna see how do they get, like, the schools to be on board, and how do they get educators to do this? I know they're gonna do it. It's gonna be a successful event, and I can't wait to see some of the things that they end up doing. I hope this is something that's televised and we get to be a part of witnessing because I think it's so cool to put it into the competition mode, solving real world problems or whatever it is that they are going to assign them to and how they can incorporate AI into I'm really intrigued with what is that going to look like.
On. The second piece, which I think is so important in order to get this right, is to bring together industry and academia and K through 12 and government together through public-private partnerships in order to create these new tools that are going to be leveraged by our teachers and students across the country.
A quick one here. Michael, scientists are reportedly fleeing the country as President Trump cuts funding.
So I think it's really interesting stuff as we start thinking about what is it going to look like. I really do want to bring you into the conversation on this and get your thoughts on this. What do you think changes with the tutoring that we do? Or what do you think changes with the expectations that parents have in the type of tutoring that we put into place for our students? I'd be really interested to know your thoughts about this because as tutors, we are at the forefront of this specific educational transformation, right? The integration of AI into our natural education policy. This isn't just a headline, it is a call to action. And how are we going to adapt our tutoring practices to prepare students for an AI driven world? So I want you to throw your thoughts into the comments, but I also want you to do something really important. Get out your calendar right now and save the dates of May 30th to June 1st because I am having a free event. Yes, free. That means it's not going to cost you anything. And I have over 18 speakers that are going to be sharing their thoughts about how you can be utilizing AI within your tutoring business, but then also how can you be using it with your students as well. For students to see how we're utilizing this tool so that we can learn in a much more efficient manner is priceless. And I am so excited to be sharing this event with you guys, and you are not going to want to miss it.